Welcome to our channel where me and my pups, Bagel and Biscuit, explore, camp, and live for adventure in the great outdoors. We hope you enjoy our videos. Thank you so much for watching. Stop licking your paws, Bagel. Stop that. It's so annoying. Whew. Good morning, everyone. We spent the night in a Love's truck stop, travel stop, as they're actually called, and I'm in Iowa. I left my dad's yesterday morning. I did not stay at my dad's as long as originally planned. Unfortunately, each day I was there, things got worse with him. I explained in an earlier recording that how our conversations were going. Yeah, not well. I knew that I needed to get up there to his place because it had been a while, and I needed to check on him because our phone conversations haven't been going well, and mostly him just not responding to my messages, or when we did talk on the phone, he would not remember conversations that we had. He was telling me that he was going to have to tear down the summer cottage, which has been up there for over 100 years, but it just was weird to me. And he's in his 80s now, and he lives totally alone. He has no family. He has no friends. He likes it that way. He's always been like that, and I get that, but he's getting older. So I knew driving up there, as excited as I was to see him, I knew he didn't seem as excited to see me, or that I was coming to visit. Each day I was in a new state traveling, I would text him and tell him where I was at, and I got no response. And finally I texted him, I'm like, are you getting my messages? And he did text me back, and he said, yes, I am. And that was it. Even when I got there and arrived, I knocked on the door. I finally just went in. I know he's hard of hearing. And no response, not excited to see me. He was chopping up vegetables for his meatloaf, and he didn't even get up. He didn't say a word, and then I realized he's got that chew in his mouth. So he finally, after a few minutes, got up, went and spit out his chew, and came back, and he wouldn't even give me a hug. Like, I had to force a hug on him. That was just so weird. Yeah, he I think I stayed 4 nights total, and at first he was fine. The dogs became an issue. At first he was fine with the dogs as long as I didn't bring them into the house. I'm like, that's fine. But then we were hanging outside, and this was our very last before our last conversation, I went to go hang out with him in his living room with his blaring loud TV. I was trying. I could take it for, little bits of time before it was just too much for my ears to tolerate. And so Bagel, my little senior girl, she is a little escape artist, and she finally figured out how to get out of the car with the hatch opened and my tailgate tent on. She figured out how to crawl underneath it and get out under the car. And I could not have her doing that. Dogs are a big responsibility, just like children, and especially senior dogs. I can't just neglect my dogs and keep them unsupervised. So I started bringing them up onto my dad's porch. And they were perfectly fine there on my dad's porch. And he was fine with that at first. That way, I could keep an eye on them. They were tied up on their leashes. They couldn't go anywhere. They were right there. I could supervise them. I could still hang out with my dad. And then like the third day, that became an issue for my dad. He didn't want them on his porch anymore. He didn't want them there at all. He told me I should not have brought them. I told him, well, that wasn't a choice. They go where I go. He started to have a real problem with the dogs, and I was as respectful as I could be. I never tried to bring him in his house. I can leave them in the car for short periods of time, but I can't leave them in the car all the time, and I can't leave them out because, we're in the North Woods. There's lots of bears and wild critters, and I can't do that. And Bagel, stop licking your paws. She just won't stop. It's an old age thing. I don't understand it. If anybody knows what the paw licking thing is all about, let me know. So anyways, on my last day there, day before yesterday, I was out walking the dogs and getting our little afternoon walk in, and I saw him sitting out off of his front porch where he likes to sit and hang out, drinking his Heineken. And I walked up and I just politely and kindly asked him how he was doing. How was his day going? Was he doing okay? I was getting ready to offer to make dinner. He said he had some chicken and he wanted to barbecue it. And I was going to ask him if he still wanted me to barbecue that chicken. And he snapped at me because I walked up to say hello and I had the dogs with me. Why are the dogs with you? I'm like, because we're walking. They're with me. We're going on a walk. I just came up to see how you are. And he just started to say mean things about me and my dogs. And he goes, why do you got to have these dogs with you? I know he's not a dog person. I get that. And I'm like, well, they're my loyal, faithful companions, and they make me happy. Like, I feel weird having to even explain that to somebody. But I'm trying to be open-minded that maybe this really is something he doesn't understand. And he says, well, they don't make me happy. Get them out of here. And I'm like, okay, we'll continue going on our walk. And I tried to talk to him some more about, I'm there because I care. I drove 1,800 miles to see him. What can I do? Is there anything I can do? Do you even want me here? And he pretty much got up, walked away, walked back in his house, and shut the door on me. So at that point, I'm like, you can only do so much for people. If they don't want your help, if they don't want you around, if they don't, he just likes being alone. I get it. I have to respect that. I'm not being pushy. I'm not going to force, anything on him. Of course, I'm not going to neglect my dogs to make him happy. That's basically what I told him. So I'm not going to do that. I have to set a boundary. I have to draw a line somewhere. But, you can't help people that don't want to be helped. And it's unfortunate. And it's very sad. I am at peace, knowing that I did my best and I did what I felt I needed to do. If I hadn't driven all this way to see him, I would have held that against myself. At least I know going forward, I did what I needed to do. I drove out to see him. I checked on him. I told him I cared. I told him I love him. I offered to help him with whatever he needed help. He's very physically limited now, and the property requires a lot of upkeep. I offered to help where I could help. I was nothing but kind and respectful and loving. And it just comes down to, you have to respect even the elderly and whatever their wishes are, however they want to age, however they want to leave this earth someday. Some people want to be surrounded by their loved ones and their family members. Some people, like my dad, does not want anybody around. And that's his choice. And I respect his choice and how he wants things to be. So, with peace in my heart, I told my dad goodbye and I wished him well, and I went ahead and left. I didn't end up staying till Father's Day, which was my my original plan. So yes, I left my dad's, and I'm heading back west. Gonna finish this coffee, probably get a second one, and then hit the road. We'll end up in Nebraska today, and then in Colorado, which is where I'm going to find a dispersed camping spot and stay for a few days, because I've been moving and traveling so much. I did get 4 nights in Wisconsin, so that was nice. So once I get to Colorado, I can just rest and relax and figure out my plans from there. And yeah, not all is lost. I really enjoy traveling through all the states to get to Wisconsin, seeing new things, overcoming new challenges. My dogs have had the adventure of their lifetime. New places, new smells, and I'm watching rabbits. This field that I'm parked next to at the Loves has a bunch of rabbits that are so cute. Cute little rabbits. Anyways, I am easily distracted. I'm gonna get going, take my leisurely time. I'm only gonna drive about 5 hours today, and get to a good spot to stay overnight, either another Love's or even maybe a rest stop. There's a few rest stops along the way, and yeah, off I go. What's up, biscuit boy? Why are you so handsome? Oh. Where's Bagel? There she is. I'm getting some Bagel love. She's a good girl. Well, sometimes. Oh, look at her face. Oh, you sweet girl. She's so gray. She's so gray. Good girl. Mm-hmm. Good girl. I love you. Look at you on camera. I think she wants to go out. Do you need to go out? Huh? Do you need to go out? Do you see those rabbits out there? Huh? Do you see those rabbits? Huh? No, you get out of there. No. Stinker. What's brother doing? Oh, he's being a good boy. You're a good boy, Biscuit. You're a good boy. It's like, leave me alone. I'm trying to rest. Sit. Bite my fingers off.